Welcome to Beyond the Pixel Portal, our monthly VR podcast where we aim to bring you all the latest exciting news and tidbits about VR tech and software. Dave, how are you?
I'm very good, mate. Yourself?
I'm good. So this is take 2. I mean, technically it's take 3 because we just had a little blunder there, so we're kind of starting again. But we actually recorded this on Friday. Well, went live on Friday, but we had audio problems there as well. Different ones than what we just had then. But luckily, because of our good friend J1 Hodds in chat, shout out J1 Hodds, he saved us from another fuck up of hours long. So thank you for that. Also, I just want to note that this is technically the February podcast. We are a bit late, but we are going to be doing the podcast fortnightly now. So every other week, every other Friday we'll be going live, and it'll be on the channel uploaded Saturday or Sunday. So I've actually gone through that with you, Dave. Are you cool with that? Does that sound good?
Yeah, I already gave you a thumbs up about that, yeah.
Yeah, well, I just think it would be better because a month is a long time, and we'll hear some news, and we really want to discuss it in depth with each other. But
yeah,
waiting a month to do that.
Fresh as well.
Fresh as well, exactly.
Fresh.
Yeah, fresh as a salami sandwich. So we're gonna do the same thing as usual, same thing as the first one. We're gonna start off with some news. And then we're going to get into the main topic, which is PlayStation VR2 is finally here. Because obviously the first podcast was about pre-hype. This one's about post-hype. We're going to be telling you all our thoughts about it. We have got a review out, by the way, so if you want to hear our thoughts... I don't know. Would you say the review's going to be more in-depth? I'll say the review's more in-depth of what we're going to go into tonight. But we might say a few different things, because I've got some other things that we want to talk about. Because even though it's an hour long, the review, it's we still had to cut some bits out because it actually took us 2 hours to actually go through it all. So there are some bits that we missed out. Anyway, with that said, let's just crack straight on with the news. State of Play, Dave, was straight after the release of the PlayStation VR2. There was a State of Play the next day. Everyone was pretty excited, and I think a lot of people were disappointed. But what do you think, Dave?
Yeah, so straight after, I think we were all expecting something big, considering it was like the day after the release of PSVR2. However, what they did show was okay.
Yeah.
You know, like Foglands is one of the games
yeah, definitely.
we're probably going to highlight.
Nice roguelike. That'll be coming up in a second, actually. Yeah, Foglands looks really good. I think that's the main standout for me. I can't remember what else. Humanity looks good for me. I think Humanity looks good. I've actually got a demo downloaded. I haven't played it yet, though. But I'll get around to it.
Sorry, Seb. Did you say that's coming out on the 2nd?
No. I don't think I did.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, Dave. But anyway, Foglands...
2nd of April, yeah?
Right. I don't know. I don't know when it comes out. I definitely didn't say anything about when it comes out. But, yeah. The thing I think about it is that for people who are not into VR... like either people who are on the fence about PSVR2, this was Sony's chance to be like, here's what you're getting it for. Because for someone who's not into VR, they're going to look at this, and I don't think they're going to be impressed. They're not going to be like, why should I spend that much money on these little indie games, right? So, yeah. I think they missed the ball on that one. Is that the right phrase? Missed the ball? But either way, yeah.
They missed the opportunity.
Missed the mark, yeah.
Yeah,
but for me, like I say, this game, it's a roguelike. I think this looks really cool. I really like the art style.
Yeah.
And gameplay looks good. So.
With the HDR as well, it's going to pop. It's going to look really good. It's
going to pop. Humanity was the second one. That might have been what you misheard me say. I said Humanity was the second one that I thought was.
Sorry, right.
Looks pretty good. You don't really like that kind of game, but I like that kind of puzzly, sort of artsy-fartsy kind of thing. So.
We've got the demo, so I mean, I could try it.
Give it a go. You might be surprised. That's the thing about VR, though, isn't it, Dave? I'm into so many genres that I wouldn't be into in flat screen, and loads of things that I wouldn't think that I'd like.
Me too.
Yeah, that's
me
the thing,
too, mate.
Like I've got a bloody wheel. I've got a wheel in this. I'm not into racing games at all, apart from like Burnout and Horizon. The one on Xbox, Forza Horizon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like arcadey things and stuff like that. But in VR, I enjoy it way more than I've ever enjoyed any kind of racing game. So
yeah,
Forza, yeah. But overall, that state of play, like I say, was I didn't have my hopes too high anyway, to be honest. I was hoping at least for one big game, but we didn't get that. We didn't get one big game, really.
No.
I don't know. Like I say, some people are going to use this as, like the haters are going to use this as ammunition to be like I said, why are they going to put that much money into VR when the games that are being shown, they don't look like, don't get me wrong, they don't look like bad games at all. They look like good games, right? But they don't look like something that you're going to shell out.
They're not your AAA.
Yeah, that's what you want. That's what we want. We need AAA games. Hopefully the next state of play, there is some kind of PSVR2 event coming up, I think. I can't remember what it is, though.
Is there a Capcom? Is there a Capcom event happening this week, I think?
Is there?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know about that, but that'd be interesting. Well, we will get into Resident Evil 4. Actually, that is the next point of topic. That's the next topic, Resident Evil 4. So if there's anything else you want to say about state of play, Dave?
I think there's anything left.
Yeah.
It was so short and sweet, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
I find that's a regular occurrence with state of play as well, to be honest. Even the last one was...
That's it. That's what I want to say. State of plays do, like, people will compare them to like Nintendo Directs, which Nintendo Directs are usually pretty big. They're short, but they have big releases coming out and stuff like that. But I think state of plays are more little bits. So people expect them to be like Nintendo Directs. But that's what PlayStation has coming up. They have a PlayStation Direct or something like that. It's a different kind of event, which is more of like, I reckon that could be where we're going to see some big games, big titles. Hopefully.
That'd be cool.
Hopefully.
Is there a date for that, or...?
There is. There is a date for that. I'm going to look it up right now. Showcase. Is it? I think it's called a showcase. Let me have a look. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, yeah. It's called the PlayStation Showcase. It is coming on... When is it? I don't know when, but I have heard that there's a showcase coming up.
Okay. We'll keep our ears to the ground on that one then.
I'm looking, and I can't find anything about it, really. But I might be wrong, there might not be one, but I definitely 100% have heard that there's a showcase coming up. The thing they did as well is they kind of just put it all at the start, like, as in, like, just to get it out of the way with, which kind of makes me feel a bit uncomfortable with the way they're, like, I feel like that might say something about how they're viewing VR. Do you know what I mean? Whereas...
I think what they need to do, this showcase you're on about, right, if it's going to be VR related, they need to specify that so that we know we've got something to look forward to, rather than mix it in with Flay. Because like you said before, we need PSVR2 to be its own platform. So why not have its own showcase? You know, PlayStation VR showcase.
Yeah. And J Huds asks, so do you think it's worth getting a PlayStation VR 2?
Yes.
Yeah, for me, I think it may vary. It depends who you are. If you're into VR, if you're already an enthusiast, definitely, and especially if you've got a PlayStation 5 already, of course. But if you don't have a PlayStation 5, then it might be worth, even if you're into Quest quite a lot and you play it daily, it might be worth spending $1,000, you know, to get a PlayStation 5 and the VR, because GT7, Resident Evil, No Man's Sky, Horizon.
No Man's Sky,
Resident Evil 4 is coming, which we'll get into in a minute. Yeah, because that's what it's for. That's what the PSVR 2 shines at. It brings you the games, because it can run big games at nice graphics. So, yeah, that's what it's all about. And the haptics as well, a next level.
Oh, yeah.
Something you wouldn't really think is going to do that much, but it does. You know, you've got the headset rumble. You've got, you know, trigger resistance and all that sort of thing. It's good. And yeah, if you like the look of GT7, I'd say it's worth investing in a wheel as well. Even a cheap one, the cheapest one. Me and Dave have got a T150, which is... I got mine for 80 quid, second hand. So, yeah. But
having a wheel just makes it even better, doesn't it? With, like you say, with the haptics.
Although, I did try it, actually. I did try it with the DualSense, and...
It works, doesn't it? It works.
It's better than, like, PlayStation 4, because when I played PSVR 1... I tried a driving game, because before I got my wheel, I didn't know that I was going to get a wheel. And I was using the DualShock, and it was, just didn't like it. But with the added, you know, the haptics and stuff, you can really feel like...
Adaptive triggers as well.
The triggers and the rumbles and everything, it feels like It's good. It's really good. It is good, but you need a wheel
It adds
really
to
if you want.
immersion.
Yeah, if you want a wheel, you want a wheel really,
Yeah.
and it has to have force feedback. Don't get a cheap one without force feedback. Just so yeah, T150. I'd recommend.
Yep.
So let's move on to Resident Evil 4. It's a bit of a weird one, Dave, with Resident Evil 4 because at State of Play last year when they revealed Resident Evil 4 Remake, I'm pretty sure that's when they revealed it. They said at the end, additional
In development.
additional VR content in development or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if exactly what they said, but they said basically the point here is that they said in development, and that was months ago. But recently, they've come out with a new statement, just a couple of weeks ago, I think now, saying that VR mode has started development. So what does that mean? Does that mean, like, to me, that means that originally they was doing some kind of little mode, like Mercenaries or something, which was going to be tacked on in VR, which would have been fucking horrible, awful. We don't need that anymore. Like,
No.
it's insulting, I think, in the modern age of VR to bring out games that is like, oh, and it's got this little bit of VR support for this little one feature, like Star Wars. Do you remember that? Battlefront, I think it was, on PSVR1.
Yeah.
So
That was good.
it was good, but it's just a little add-on. You know what I mean? I don't think it's just like it felt
No.
back then.
Squadrons was a full game, mate.
Oh, was it?
You
Well,
must
that's not what I'm talking about. Battlefront then. It's Battlefront that I was thinking about.
It must be Battle. Yeah, it must be Battlefront.
But yeah, we don't want these little add-ons anymore. So to go back to what I was saying, originally they said that additional content in development. So I think they've scrapped that now because they realise that they can't be doing that and they've got to bring out the full game. So I'm hoping that now they've said that VR mode has started development, it's going to be the full game because that's what Resident Evil 8 is called. It's called the VR mode. VR mode. So if they're consistent, which, you know, they're professional, they should be consistent, that at least suggests to me, I can't confirm, but that suggests to me that it's going to be the full game, which is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Because
Just going back to what you were saying about the fact they said it last year and then they mentioned it again. Do you think they did that because people didn't see the last one? So it's just like refresher?
No, because it said started development. Months and months later, you can't say started again.
Yeah, but we saw that. What about people that didn't? And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but people who didn't, then they would have put in development. Why would they say started again?
Right, okay, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if I said, like, I don't know, just to give you a random example off the top of my head, like, say I was coming to your house, I'm on my way over, mate. I'm on my way. And then 2 weeks later, you message me, where are you? And then I say,
You're still on your way.
You know, I'm on my way. I don't know, that's not a good example, but you know what I mean. You know, it's just weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I know what you're getting at, yeah.
I just wish that Capcom were just more open and transparent about what's going on. I'm actually going to change this because I've actually seen all this gameplay, and because I haven't. Like, this is another reason I'm excited because I've never completed Resident Evil 4, so a lot of it's going to be new to me.
Yeah, same here.
Have you played it at all, Dave?
Yeah, I played. It's the one on the Quest.
Oh yeah. I got it on Quest as well, but I didn't finish it there either.
No,
I don't know why.
It
was good though, but I don't know. On Quest, I was never a fan of the original. I was like you know this, Dave. I'm into like the first game. I like Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. You know, when it was more, I think it was more horror based, but when it went to 4, it became more action based. But now, since playing Resident Evil 8 in VR, the action's worth it. You know, I really like it. But yeah. On Quest, it's okay, you know, for me. A lot of people say it's really good, but for me it's okay because it's still the same kind of graphics. It still feels like the same game to me. But obviously, if you're looking at this right now, look at the graphics and the immersion that's going to be in there and everything. And obviously, the amount of action and stuff. That's what I've been saying about Resident Evil 8. It's an action game first and a horror game second, whereas Resident Evil 7 was a horror game first and action came second. So,
yeah.
But yeah, really enjoying Resident Evil 8 in VR, so I'm sure that Resident Evil 4, that could be a system seller, Dave, I reckon.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't know how they're going to do the roundhouse kick. That's something. Because they did it on the Quest version, they did, but I'm pretty sure, I can't remember. Yeah, I think
was a
there's a
button
button press, but it takes you out into third person, which was
That's-
fine. I think. I can't remember. I can't remember if that's what happened, but I think that's what happened. Which is fine on the Quest, but I feel like with the added immersion of graphic coming from the PS5, it might be a bit jarring. It might really take you out of the experience. So I don't know. I don't know. But they have removed pretty much all the QuickTime events, as far as I'm aware. So yeah, Resident Evil 4. I think that's looking. Oh yeah, special demo as well. I wonder if we'll get a demo for that, because Resident Evil 7 and 8 they've had demos for in VR. So
yeah, maybe we got a little taster.
yeah, I hope so. I hope so, Dave. But anyway, and it said it started development, so who knows when we're going to get that.
It'll
But
be a few years.
no, I don't know. Maybe a year. Maybe a year. I don't know. Because they're using not Resident Evil, they're using the RE engine, which is optimized and made for VR in mind. So it might be pretty, they've got all the tools there from other games and everything all kind of worked out already, I'd imagine. Not a developer, but... Right, shall we move on to the Quest stuff, Dave? Meta stuff.
Okay.
So I've put this in its own section called Meta's Incompetence, because there's a number of topics we want to go over, which are all related to Meta's incompetence. Now, I said this to you in the stream that we did before that got messed up, so I can't really ask you the same thing, but I'm going to ask you because maybe you forgot, because you do have a memory like a sieve, Dave. Horizon Worlds is coming to mobile and PC. Yep. I asked you before, what are your thoughts on that? So, what are your thoughts on that? They might have changed now since I don't know if you remember what I said.
So what I said before was it's going to bring a new audience to Horizon.
You did.
However, you did say...
Well, you was thinking that was going to be... I asked you if you thought that was a good thing, and you said yes. And then I just, slapped you in the face, and I said, no, it's not going to be a good thing. And here's why. Right now, Dave, we play Horizon Worlds a little bit. Right now, when we try to meet up in, the pub, which is our usual hangout spot, it's a pretty popular place, it's where all our friends are. What happens, Dave?
So you're limited to how many people you got in a room?
Yeah.
Or an instance, I'll say.
Instance. The instance gets full, because there's a maximum of, 30 people that can get in there. Right? So, we go on, and then we try and meet up with each other. Well, not even that. I'll be on, and you'll be like, oh, Sam's online. Let's go see him.
Yeah.
But no, it'll put you in a separate instance, and you won't be able to find me.
That has happened a few times.
So what Meta are basically doing is they're opening it up to a wider audience without doing anything to tackle that. It's going to make it a lot worse. It's going to be harder to find your friends. I think it's just one of many examples of Meta's complete incompetence. And not just that, kids basically are going to be on it more than now. It's going to be an influx of kids as well, which is annoying. So yeah. I think that is a stupid decision, because like I say, they haven't done anything to balance that out with the experience as it is now. There's other problems with Horizon Worlds, which is it's got a lot of performance issues. It's really bad. It's really laggy and not a nice experience, especially when you first load into a room and everyone's avatars are loading in and you're moving at 2 frames per second. It feels like an indie game. It feels worse than an indie game. There's indie social experiences like Altspace, which is going to be gone soon, but that felt way more polished than Horizon Worlds. It's laggy, the menus are laggy to go through. If there's another weird thing, if you get an update, if the app needs an update, it doesn't tell you. So if you want to see your friends, you can go in the same room as them, and you might think the instance is full again, but it's not. What it actually is that your friends are on a different version, so you can't communicate with them. You've got to go out of app just to tell them that there's an update. Whereas any competent company would know that if there's an update, it will come up with a notice and say, we've got an update coming in 10 minutes or something. And then it will make you shut it down to do the update. So, there's also the blocking system, Dave, which you know about. So basically, for those who don't know, if you block someone in Horizon Worlds, this is what I mean. Meta's just like, it really makes me scratch my head. Like, what are they thinking when they do this? But if you block someone in Horizon Worlds, you get punished as well. In the form of, if that person you've blocked is in a world that you want to go into, it won't let you in that world. Isn't that just... Do you know what I mean? Like, what are they thinking? It's almost like they've hired a bunch of, like, teenagers who are just, like, you know, maybe they're, like, in college or something, and they don't really have any experience, and they're the ones who have made this app. I don't know. There's a lot of little things like that just make me think that Meta's not a competent company, which makes me... it puts me off getting the Quest 3 or any other Meta thing. That's on top of being banned. I've been banned a few times, and I don't even know why. I'm in adult worlds. I never, like... I'm not a nasty kind of person or anything. I don't bully people or whatever. I mean, I bully Josh because he's a cunt. But that's just a bit of banter, right? That's just a little bit of banter. And obviously he knows that. Maybe that's why I get banned, because maybe someone's overhearing that, and then they're just taking it out of context. So, I don't know.
Yeah, but
they don't tell you either.
If you're not saying that directly to someone else, they shouldn't be blocking you, because you wasn't having that conversation with that person.
Yeah, no, I don't mean blocking, I mean getting banned. And that's the thing, if you get banned off Horizon Worlds, you are banned off the entire headset. So I was banned for 48 hours. My headset was a fucking doorstopper. I couldn't do anything with it. You can't log in, you can't do fuck all. So, just more meta incompetence. I don't get it. I mean, I've had that problem with Facebook anyway, you know. They've always been like, they ban you for stupid reasons, and then they won't exactly tell you why they banned you. So...
That's true what J1 HUD says, is when they updated something, they fuck something else up, which is true.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. But the thing about Horizon Wars, the reason I use it, I know I'm shitting on it a lot, but it's because the whole idea of a social app is the people. And that's where the people are. You have VR chat, there's people in there, but those kind of people, I mean, they're nice people and everything, but they're not my kind of people, mostly. Like, it's a lot of kids, first of all, and then it's all those kind of like, you know, furries and weebs and stuff, but I don't know. I just don't really... I've tried talking to them, like, I can't talk to them in the same way that I do when I talk to people in Horizon. They just ignore you. But Horizon, that's where the people are. Alt Space is dead. Horizon, there's a good community there. There's a good community of people. Good banter.
Especially at the Very British Pub. I thought we'd give them a shout out, because they've been very welcoming to me, and that's how I met you.
Yeah, so, that is the main place. That's all I do in there. I don't go anywhere else apart from the British Pub. There's not many kids in there either. You know, there's a anti-kid rule. Whenever a kid comes in, I say 2319, because you know, Monsters Inc. With George Sanderson and the sock. But and if anyone wants to know, J1 HUD is a mod of that place. It's a very important person. Watch yourself around him. Show him respect his authority. So that was just the first point about Meta's incompetence. Let's go into one of the points you brought up, Dave, which is Echo's cancellation.
Yeah, so Echo and Nerf as well.
And Nerf. Nerf was nerfed.
Yes. Yeah.
I think there was another one as well. I might be wrong, but I think I think there was something that was actually no, that was it. Something was shut down, but it was brought back recently. It was that Swords of Gargantua or something like that, I think.
Oh, that's right. That's the one, yeah.
But that one came back, so I don't know.
Yeah, I feel for the community behind it, because a lot of people just go in for that game, and plus it was used for a lot of esports as well. Yeah.
They said it was because that's why they said they shut it down, because there wasn't a big enough community. But that was the biggest, or one of the biggest VR games going. With the, like, it's like they're judging it based on flat screen games and how big their communities are. But VR it's completely different. That was good. That was a good number of, you know, concurrent players playing it every day. So another reason why I don't really trust Meta. You know, there's so many things that are putting me off with them. So I mean, the Quest 3 is going to have to be really something special for me to.
Exactly, it really is. It really is. You're right.
So I don't know. It depends on the price as well. But
is Nerf free?
I don't think so.
Or was it?
I don't think it was.
Or was it a paid?
I think it was paid. Yeah.
It was paid. Yeah. Okay.
Echo's free though, wasn't it? Echo was free.
Yes, Echo was free. Yeah.
The community is not happy with Echo Arena being taken down. So I think there's a petition as well.
There is the petition going around.
But I don't think that's going to work, really.
What I was going to say, what about moving it to a different platform like Pico? I know it means that people will get another headset again, but...
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't really know why it was cancelled. I mean, like I said, it was like because of numbers, but was it Meta's choice or was it...
I don't know if it was a choice between the devs and Meta. I'm not too sure, to be honest.
I don't know, but I don't really know a lot about the cancellation. I don't really have too much to say. I just know that it's a shame. It's a shame. I never played it personally, but I know that...
I did in the early days.
Yeah.
When I had the Quest.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Quest.
It does look cool. Yeah. I just never got round to it.
It was cool.
I had it downloaded. I've got it downloaded and everything, but...
Yeah, there's a lot of fun in there.
Oh well. Let's move on to the Quest Pro price. Has gone down again. It's gone up, it's gone down. It's like a fucking yo-yo, Dave.
Again, I feel for the people that have spent full price on that, because that's £500 down the drain.
Yeah. It's like Meta just don't give a fuck. They just don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And not only that, if you bought it on credit, like through Amazon, for instance...
You're still going to be paying it off.
You've literally just paid off that £500. You've still got £1,000 to pay.
Yeah.
And that's what it's gone down to.
It's ridiculous.
So I would have been furious. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they did buy it, not knowing what we know, they should have looked into it in the first place, to be honest, because it's not the same as like the the Quest 2, for instance. Yeah. It's a more higher end, but it's mainly aimed at businesses. So it's not really designed in the first place for the average user. It was the whole reason why. But
obviously,
in the first place.
Why didn't they make it just a business thing then? Because there are headsets out there that are commercial use only, and you can only get them through like businesses. So
yeah, good point.
But yeah, that came out like 5 months ago or something like that. About 5 months ago, and it dropped in price. But that was just temporary. It dropped like to £1,200. And then just less than a month or a month later, it went back up to 1,500. And now, maybe a month later, it's now apparently permanently £1,000, right? Which I speculate maybe because they're competing with the XR Elite, which is no competition anyway, even at £1,000, in my opinion. I think the XR Elite looks like a way better headset, even though it's not got eye tracking, So, yeah, I don't know. I think they've either dropped or raised the price of a Quest 2 as well. So, I don't know. It's not good. That's not good business, to be constantly lowering and putting the price up, It's just not right. 'Cause it pisses a lot of people off. As if Meta haven't pissed enough people off recently, with all we've talked about so far, right? Like, I'm actually kind of angry at them as a company. Like, you can't fucking treat your player base like that, right? So, like I say, Quest 3 is going to have to be something really fucking special for me to come back. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
But, moving on to Quest 3, I've got that as a point, and you maybe put that point in. So, what do you want to say about Quest 3? I think you had some info about it or something.
So, on the last podcast, I speculated about the Quest 3, and some of it is confirmed. So, it's going to be a higher price point, but it's going to be a smaller form factor. They've got a new XR2 chip for it. The XR2 plus 2, I think, something like that. Yeah, and it's going to have other features like pancake lenses.
Pancake lenses, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what the resolution's going to be.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that one.
The thing is, I think they should stick to kind of Quest 2 resolution, personally. Because it is high enough, because that's like pretty much what the PlayStation VR2 is like as well. Because if they add more pixels, they're going to need more computing power to fill those pixels out. If they want to get the most performance out of it, out of that XR chip, then just have the best, lowest display, if you know what I mean. Like a display that's crisp enough and does the job.
Hopefully, because it's smaller, they have a wider field of view as well.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
What is it? 90, maybe like similar to what the PSVR2.
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It'd be interesting to see. Will it have the kind of Quest Pro controllers, which have got the cameras on them to track? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good question.
But it's going to be better than the Quest Pro, isn't it? It's going to be better than the Quest Pro, which I think is kind of strange, personally. But I don't know. That's this year, isn't it? That's coming out this year.
It is coming out this year. Normally around October time, when Meta Connect. Still trying to get used to that. I prefer calling it Oculus myself.
Yeah, that's another incompetent thing I think about Meta. Oculus was like such a great brand, such a great name.
It was.
It's a classic name as well. That's and Meta. It still doesn't sound right. It's like the Nintendo Switch. When that first came out, it sounded really weird. I was like, Nintendo Switch, I'm never going to get used to saying that. But it sounds normal now. Meta, fucking hate it. I don't like it. J100 says, the Pro Controller can connect to the other devices. They can, yeah, but I'm just wondering if they come shipped. If it's going to come shipped with them kind of controllers.
I think, I mean, I think they will. What they're also going to do is they're going to do a higher end type Quest 3, right, for the enthusiasts. And then later the next year, I think they're going to be making a Quest 3 Lite.
Wow. I don't know how I feel about that. But like I say, I don't know about the Quest 3. It's got to really impress me. The XR chip, it's apparently a great chip. Because the XR Elite, obviously XR's in the name. I haven't actually looked this up. I don't really know exactly about the chips and whatever. But I'd imagine that's an XR chip. Right, so that can run like Kayak on it. That was one of the demos at CES last month, or January or something. Whenever CES was, there was a demo, and I'm sure someone played Kayak natively.
Well, that's impressive.
Yeah, obviously it wouldn't have been like as good looking as the PSVR2 or PC.
No,
but the fact is you can play the games. And that's what matters. It's like Switch. Like, one of my favourite games on the Switch was The Witcher 3. And it looked like absolute shit. It looked like shit. Well, it did. It looked like shit. But it was the full game, and I enjoyed it more. Like, I played Witcher 3 on my PlayStation 4 Pro, and I never got into it. But for some reason on Switch I did. So that just shows that it's not really about graphics. It's about the games. Right?
Exactly, yeah.
So... And obviously,
it's not always about that.
Obviously, the Quest 2, as a comparison to PSVR 2, like that people make, is the thing is, it's not about the graphics difference. It's about the fact that the hardware's so weak, you can't run, any decent big games on it. I mean, look, they ported over Grid, and you can see the sacrifice that's made there. So, the point is, with the XR chip, it may sort of be competition to PSVR2. It might be quite, even though their standalone is very different. General Hud says, shocking game, I refunded it. Grid. Yeah, a lot of people did. Dave liked it though.
Yeah, I mean, once you get over the fact what it looked like, the actual gameplay is pretty good. I mean, I had the full game on there, so fair play to getting the full game on.
It's pretty amazing, really. It's the full console game.
Yeah.
As it works. It's impressive it even looked like that. It's impressive they even did it, really. But a lot of people, I understand, are not going to be able to get over how it looks. I think it was an experiment, really. Just to see if people would... Because obviously they want the games on the Quest. So maybe they said, hey, Grid developers, fucking see if you can port our game. Like Switch again. Impossible ports, like The Witcher. Things that shouldn't be able to be done. So maybe they're just testing that out a little bit or something to see how far they can push it. But either way, Quest 3 on the horizon, so that should
You have to see.
help a lot.
But I think I'm speaking on behalf of both of us. We won't be getting it on launch.
Nah, definitely not. Right, moving on. That's Meta's incompetence all wrapped up, I think. I'm sure there's more stuff I could go into, but I'm not gonna. We're gonna move on to Big Screen Beyond, Dave.
Big Screen Beyond, right? Okay.
Okay, while I'm doing this, Dave, tell us what is Big Screen Beyond?
Big Screen Beyond is a headset built from developers behind Big Screen, which you can use on the Quest currently. I think it's on PC as well. But
Yeah,
the developers have designed a headset that, it's expensive, but it's a very low profile headset, very light. Here it is.
Yeah, it's
However,
interesting. It is interesting, but yeah, there is a big however. So basically, it was very surprising to hear about it. The thing is, it's tailored to the user completely. When you order it, you need, first of all, let's just get this out of the way, it costs £1,000, right? And it's PC tethered, and you need base station tracking. But the pros to it is it's got a really high resolution display, it's very light, although because it's tethered, connected with cable, I think that the lighter the headset is, the more you're going to notice a cable, I can imagine. But it's made really specifically for watching movies, right? That's why they made it, for the resolution and the comfort, right? So it's grand, it's really good resolution, the form factor's great, but yeah, it's made for your specific face, right? So not only do you have to spend money on the headset, you need some controllers to go with it, because it uses base station tracking, so you can use like a number of different controllers, which is nice, but you need the base station tracking. You're also going to need an iPhone XR, at least, to actually scan your face, because when you purchase it, you have to scan your face, so they can make the facial interface exactly fit to your face, and the IPD as well. When you scan your face, they know your exact IPD. So you're not going to be able to share this headset around unless you've got a twin or something. I don't know. Could you call that a downside? Because it could also be a pro as well for the right user. If you've got no friends, that's not a problem, right? So
I think it is a flaw, because the idea of VR is that you want to share it with people. So
I don't know. I don't think that is the idea of VR, personally, Dave. I think the idea is to kind of maybe share your time with people in some ways, but in VR. I mean, I love sharing my VR. That's a big part of it, and I'm sure it's a big part of it for you as well, because it's awesome, innit, when you've got your friends around or your family, and there's some kind of new game or new hardware, and you put them in it. That's almost just as fun as playing it yourself, just watching them play it.
I took mine to work because I wanted people that have never experienced VR before, and it's like it takes you back to when you first put a headset on, you know, and you see their expressions and the way they react. I love that.
I mean, I don't have kids, but I imagine it's like having kids at Christmas. They like a lot of parents say that it's when they've had kids, Christmas gets its magic back, kind of thing. So I imagine it's kind of like that in a way, which sounds kind of silly, but it is. It's like a lot of fun watching your mum scream because there's fucking, you know, she's on a roller coaster with zombies coming at her and stuff. It's good, but yeah, I don't know if VR is about sharing it. I say that's a big thing for me that I like about it. But I think VR is a very...
Personal, that's
a good word, yeah. It's a very personal thing. So like I say, it might be good for some people, other people, not so good. It's a very specific, intentional step backwards, the headset is, to prioritise clarity and comfort. So I think they know what they're doing, but I think their target audience is very small. I think some people are really going to love it, and for a lot of people, for most people, it's not going to be it. That's just not it. It's got, let's just go into it a little bit more. It's about 195 grams. And so for comparison, the Quest 2 is 501 grams.
So that's significant. Difference, isn't it? Straight up. Yeah.
But like I said, about the having the cable connected, because it's lighter, you probably feel the tug a lot more. Yeah. I'd imagine.
Yeah.
As you can see there, pancake lenses, which is nice.
Yep. But it's the fact that you also need, if you're starting out and you see this and you've got the money, You're going to need base stations with it. You're going to need a PC
Yeah,
with
that's
it.
what I'm saying. Yeah, and
Yeah,
you need an
so-
iPhone to do the scanning. And
Yeah.
there's a really weird thing: interchangeable prescription lenses.
Yeah.
Does that not make you think, what the fuck? Because it's a headset just for you. But
Yeah.
maybe, I don't know. I don't have glasses. I'm getting some soon though. But does your your prescription changes? Maybe that's why we did it actually. Thinking about it. Does that happen, Dave? Well, obviously people's eyes deteriorate. So, I don't know. That just struck me as a bit odd. But thinking about it now, maybe it does make sense. It's got stereo mics.
Prescription lenses.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe that's a choice for people that wear glasses. Maybe you don't have to have that.
True. That is true. Yeah, good point. It's not got built-in audio. It's but they do offer an audio strap accessory to go with it, kind of like the deluxe audio strap from the Vive.
But that price, I'd like to see that with it.
Yeah, I mean it's a very basic headset. I think most of the money's going in on the screen and the fact that it's custom made. The fact that it's custom made as well, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
If you've got to get controllers and you've got to get base stations and everything else to go with it, just make it a little bit more accessible.
I think it's basically made for people who already have a lot of that stuff. I don't know. I mean, it is obviously clearly it's made for big screen mainly, but you can do other things on it. And I've heard some YouTubers have been saying that it might be their main headset for gaming as well. So that's quite interesting, just because of display resolution. Yeah, but yeah, it's a very specific design philosophy, which is the same with most headsets. There's no such thing as a perfect headset. They all take like a certain direction, such as PlayStation VR's goes for like comfort and haptics. I'd say is their main focus. Comfort and haptics is probably and the foveated rendering as well. So that's just what VR's like.
And eye tracking.
And eye tracking. That's what I mean. Yeah, foveated rendering. So, anything else, Dave, about Big Screen Beyond that you want to say? I think we pretty much covered everything there.
I think it's a fantastic app though. For people that are watching that if they haven't seen it, check it out. It's free. Yeah. You can rent movies on there, but you can also watch stuff in 3D, and 3D is quality on there. I think.
You can link your YouTube. Good. You can link your Amazon Prime.
Yep. That's true. Yeah, that's new. Yeah, that's.
I haven't been on there since they've done all that, but yeah, I still use big screen quite a lot. There's also not safe for work stuff. So if you're into that, just to try it once, me and a friend went into this homosexual guy was showing all of his films that he made, and it was really weird. It was really weird, Dave. And what was more weird is that the people in there were fucking masturbating, Dave. That's what they do, though, innit? Like, in real life, there's some cinemas, like, in America. I don't know, they might do it in the UK as well. But there's, like, red cinemas, which are all, like, porn cinemas. And, like, people go in there to masturbate with people. Like, what the fuck? Not even, like, not masturbating each other. Like, just, like, sitting there masturbating. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
That'd be a bit weird doing that,
but anyway, if you're into that, anyone,
anyway,
you can do that. Yeah. You can do that in big screen, virtually. And if you've got a small PP, it doesn't really matter because they can't see it. So, the last bit of news before we get into the main topic is the Gunstock Pro Tube Cups. That's what you want to talk about.
Yeah, so Pro Tube have officially announced that they are going to be doing cups for the Sense controllers for the PSVR2. So that's pretty cool. Now, I'm not sure if you are going to attach those to the original aim controller.
I don't know why you think that, Dave. What makes you think that? Why would you be using the original aim controller?
That's what I'm saying.
You can't use the aim controller. You can't use the aim controller with the PS5.
No, you can't. But you're using it as a gun stock, something to pull it onto. Unless they're gonna.
That seems.
I mean,
weird.
they do make their own. So
I'm sure.
It's just the image. It's the image I saw on Twitter that they had these cups on the aim controller.
Yeah, I don't know. So you've got experience with that kind of thing. I don't. What is it about stocks? Because I don't use stocks or anything like that. Is it just? rigidity? Does that is that what adds to the immersion? Because obviously you can use two controllers to
So
yeah,
what
go
it
on.
does, so I'll show you what I'll grab mine. I'll show you what I've done with mine. So I modded mine a little bit. I used
Nice.
a crappy gun stock that I had for the Quest, and I took the main part off and taped it basically to the aim controller, so that had a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had something on your shoulder, because that's the thing about the aim controller, is you never had something to lean against
Yeah.
your shoulder like that. So that improves accuracy for starters,
True.
and stability.
Yeah.
Because especially if you're using a sniper rifle in something like Pavlov, for instance, like when I was streaming yesterday, to try and hit that target and keep it still was near impossible for me anyway. But the target was far away. I was using the targets at the time,
Uh,
and
there is software. There is software fixes for that. Like Resident Evil has got it. It asks you in Resident Evil 8 which is your dominant eye, right? And that
yeah,
is so you can put not aim assist, sight assist on. So then it would snap the sights to your eye, to your dominant eye. So as soon as you bring it in a certain range next to
you
you,
know what? I was using my right, and I think I set it for left. So maybe that's what happened.
oh, have you been having trouble?
Maybe,
Have you? I did that at first as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I set it as the left, because I started using my left eye. Or sorry, my right eye, and I normally use my left eye.
And was you doing
But
two-handed aiming? You was thinking, why is the controller like flicking around all over the place? Because that's what I
it was
thought.
only where I was aiming it,
Yeah.
and it's because it was sniper. I mean, I imagine it would be like that in real life if you had a sniper rifle. You're trying to
Yeah.
support it.
Yeah. So like I say, that's a way to get rid of that problem without using any hardware. Although for some people, I
But
turned it off personally.
yeah.
But
But the thing is, with Pro Troop, they add another thing to their gun stocks. So you get haptics. So you get the recoil coming from your shoulder.
yeah.
So they're the
Oh
more
right.
expensive. Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah. So I
Um,
mean, you imagine that with the head haptics and the sense controllers as
what
well
like
as
a little
that.
piston? They got like a
Yeah,
little
so you've
piston in
got
there.
yeah. So it rumbles when you're
Oh.
firing. So you've got a machine gun
I don't know about rumble.
or an
I
assault
think they
rifle.
should put a piston in there, like a little piston that actually like literally pushes your shoulder. Wouldn't that be
It's
nice?
just yeah.
But
But you know about it when you fire it.
but yeah, people who like gunning sort of games and stuff, which I do. Like I say,
Yeah.
in VR, I'm into all sorts of things when it comes to VR. But yeah, Pro Tube Cups are coming
Also,
soon.
I saw something on Instagram. Somebody is also making a gun stock for the PSVR2. Not as well known as ProTube, but this one you just slide it on to a gun stock,
Yeah.
and then you slide it off. Looks quite good.
Well,
With any gun stock though, it takes time to get used to, because obviously you can't see where
yeah.
you're doing it. When you take your controllers off, because they're magnetic. Okay, so
Right.
you have to position them in a certain way. So it's muscle memory. Just take like 15 minutes. Just close your eyes as though you're in VR, and then just muck about and try and pull it in. That's what
Yeah,
she said.
that's what she said. I was about to say that, Dave. Right. Anyway, I think that's it for the news. Unless there's anything else you want to go over.
No,
All right. Let's
no,
get into
I'm
the
quite happy with that.
main topic, which is PlayStation VR 2. We've been playing it,
Yep.
and does it live up to the hype, Dave? I shall let you go first.
Well, it's been mixed reviews, hasn't there? Which is a shame, because I think everybody in the community was.
I think the
Really
reviews have
hype.
been pretty good. Pretty good. I don't think I've seen a bad review. I don't think. Have I? I'm not sure.
It's just that people have been disappointed with the comfort issues with the headset.
Yeah, it's
and
not as
I've
comfortable
heard
as the
that people,
PSVR 1. That is true.
no, and a lot of people have sent it back for that reason. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is a shame, because like any headset, it takes a while. When I had the Quest 2, when I bought a strap for that, I was still mucking about and fiddling about to get it how I wanted it. So I think every headset is exactly the same. It's new, got to be bedded in. But yeah, it's a shame that those people have anyway. But majority of the PSVR community have loved it,
Yeah.
including myself and you.
Yeah, I am. Even though I have been getting comfort issues, because it actually turned out that I said this in a review. I've got a deviated septum. I didn't even know that until I got the PSVR2 because I was getting like a red mark on just one side of my nose. So when I looked in the mirror, I was like, "What the fuck is that?" Like, obviously it hurt as well. I could feel it, and then so I like did a little bit of measuring in the mirror, and it turns out that top of my nose here is goes to the left a little bit. It's like not even noticeable when you look at me, but it's there. And because I've got the smallest IPD as well, that means they're as close as they can be together. And I think along with like the eye tracking bulks out the sides of the lenses a little bit, it's a very small gap, and I've got a fucking big nose, right? So I think that might have a lot to do with it. And my small head as well. I've got a small head, so
yeah,
you're supposed to have the strap like pretty much like down a bit, don't you? Like pretty much where my cap is now. For me, because I've got a small head, if I'm using my Pulse headset, it doesn't quite fit, so I've got to push it up a little bit, which pushes the front down. And I have been getting more used to it. I mean, when I was first using it, I was getting like got like an headache off it pretty much because it was just
at the back, where the dial is.
Yeah, well, that's your thing. I've never had a problem with the back. Never, no problems with the back of a headset. It's only my nose.
I don't anymore because I've been watching a lot of other content creators giving tips and tricks on how to wear it, and I've been trying stuff out, and watching that's been beneficial, I think, as well. So
yeah,
if anyone has got a PSVR2 and they're finding it uncomfortable, just give it time, bed it in, look out for videos on YouTube on how to wear it, and I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, like I say, it does take time to wear it in. Every headset's the same, trying to find like the right way to wear it and get it perfect. Sweet spot for me, I get it every time. For you, it took you quite a while to find the sweet spot, didn't it?
Yeah, but I'm getting it every time now. So far this week, I've smashed it. I've managed to not literally.
You smashed it, fucking hell, Dave.
No.
Don't want to be smashing your PSVR2.
No. But I've got it exactly where I want it. Sometimes when I'm playing certain games, though, I do have to still fiddle a little bit to get it back. But 9 times out of 10 now, I'm getting that sweet spot.
That's something we didn't go over in the review, but I'd like to touch on is the Fresnel lenses. It's strange because usually with Fresnel lenses, the thing is that when you've got the sweet spot, if you look like to your peripherals without moving your head, you like look around, then you'll see it blur towards the end and get like chromatic abrasion and God rays and things like that. With PSVR2 so far, I've had no God rays or anything like that, and in certain games like Kayak, once you've got that sweet spot, it's pretty much clear all the way around, no matter where you look. Whereas in GT, it might be the foveated rendering with, although I don't think it would be because it follows your eyes, but with GT7, the sweet spot is in the centre for me, and if I look around the edges, it does get more blurry. So I don't think it's a problem with the lenses, because it's Sony's own patent. Like, that's what a lot of people don't realise is that they was really upset about it being Fresnel lenses, but it's their own design. So I don't think the lenses are that bad, really.
No. Well, we're used to Fresnel lenses, but the Quest 2.
Quest 2, yeah. That one you can tell it's blurry in the edges. Not so bad though. Like, they're not as bad as people like. People make them out like they really hate them, but they're not that bad. You know, I wouldn't even say they're bad. It's not that they're not that bad. They're not bad at all. It's just pancake lenses are better because it's just more clear.
But it's definitely got a more refined sweet spot in comparison to Quest 2. It
does. It's got a very tight sweet spot. That is true.
Yeah.
Like very tight, like millimeters. You got to get it right on perfectly. Yeah. So has it lived up to the hype? Yeah, it has. I think some people might be disappointed though, because it's different. People who have played VR, I went over this in the review, but I'll just touch on it again. People who have played VR before are going to be looking for things like screen door effects and all of these little things. So at first they're going to be hyper focused on the display. So that's what we did pretty much, innit? As soon as I got in and we started playing GT7, we was enjoying it a lot, but we wasn't getting the full experience because we was distracted by like analysing it.
Fiddling about.
Yeah.
Yeah, fiddling about and trying to get that perfect comfort.
But for someone who's totally new to VR, they'd have a complete different experience because they wouldn't know what to look for. And
No.
I think
They're going to be blown up. They'll be blown away, mate. There's no two ways about
Well-
it. This was my first. I'm jealous. I'm actually
Yeah.
jealous because, mate, what an experience to have as your first headset.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, Dave, because new people might expect crystal clear, lifelike graphics or something. Because something I did hear a lot, like when I was watching, like before release, people who got their hands on the headset who were playing things like Gran Turismo 7, you'd have comments saying like, how clear is it? How crisp is it? And then the comments would say, oh, it's just like you see on screen. But it isn't. It's not. It's never like that in VR, you know? So some people might have been expecting lifelike clarity. So some people might have been disappointed in that sense as well. It's hard. It's hard to measure levels of hype for a headset because everyone has a
put it
different
this way.
experience.
When I first got the Oculus Go, that was my first headset. Okay, I spent about 20 minutes in the Oculus home screen. I was blown away, mate, with the Oculus Go. So,
Yeah?
and that was from a new user at the time, you know.
Yeah.
I was
You're probably
blown away
right.
with that.
You're probably right. But I think the most impressed people for the PSVR2 are going to be people who've only played the PSVR 1.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's a big difference. It is a big difference. Just graphically, obviously, and the haptics. Like I say, that was impressive. The HDR screen, Dave, that's my favourite thing. Not just because of the colours, but just because of the contrast and the lights, like the dazzling effects when you know, like headlights and stuff. Like I say, it's
And
like
the sun,
the sun.
reflections.
It's like I said it in the review. The best way to explain it is, do you know when you're actually driving a car in real life at night, and then the headlights of some other car behind you, you don't have to look directly at those headlights to have a sensation of being dazzled in your eye. You don't get that from any other kind of screen. It was my first time using a HDR screen.
Dazzled.
Dazzled. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like life. It's lifelike, but it's not. I don't really know how to describe it. You can't describe it to people. They got to see it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, as it lived up to the hype, I'd say it has.
For
But
me-
I think for some
Yeah,
people,
for me.
it's going to be a
from my
case by case
perspective, it has.
basis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. A TV trick.
Yes.
So
This is genius
it's
because
not genius, Dave. It's pretty simple,
it
really.
is. It's not right because a lot of people won't know about it.
True.
Okay, because I didn't. Because someone like myself, right, when I used to play the PSVR, apart from setting it up with the TV, I took the TV away and gave it back to my daughter, okay, because I don't have a TV in this room. And I solely used my headset to play flat games when I was sort of casually playing flat games. And for VR, I never used any other TV. Until recently, you come up with that idea.
Well, the thing is, let's just clarify first. It was supposed to be that as soon as you set the PSVR 2 up, you don't need a TV anymore. Right? That was part of the marketing, right?
Yeah.
However, for some reason, sometimes if you turn it on with the headset on straight away, straight from boot up, it says like please follow the instruction on your TV or something like that.
Yeah, that's it.
Which is weird. And so you was having a problem with that, and then I did have that problem at one point. But what I did, I'm pretty sure I've seen it before. And you press X. So I thought I'll just take the headset off as if I'm not wearing it, because how are they going to know if I'm looking at my TV or not? Press the X button, put it back on, it's done. Or if you want to boot it up and get the headset straight on, don't turn the headset on. Just turn your PlayStation on. Wait until the light's gone white or blue or whatever colour it goes. Wait until you're sure that it's going to be like the sign in part. Press X to sign in, and then just turn your headset on. It just works.
Yep.
So I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's a bug, because
I think it's a bug.
Yeah.
Like you said before to me. Yeah, I think it is a bug
because
it should just work straight off the head out. Straight out. As soon as you turn it on, you shouldn't have to be pressing any buttons. It shouldn't be coming up with any messages like that. It should just work.
yeah, all it says is something about comfort or something. It says please be aware of your surroundings. press X to continue or something, but I don't
No,
know.
what you said at the beginning is what it says. Please revert to your TV or something like that.
No, but I mean what it says on the screen when you take the headset off.
Oh, I don't know because I can't remember now.
Yeah. Either way, if anyone does have that problem, you
Just press
don't
X.
bother connecting your TV up or anything. If you got some kind of setup without a TV, just press X. Take the headset off, press X. It'll work when you
This
put
is
it back on.
after the initial setup, though. Yeah, make that clear
Yeah.
because
Yeah, initial setup you need a TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sticking to the tricks, I've got another trick, which is another very simple trick, and it's the controller slide trick, which is basically, sliding your controllers over your wrists, if your hands are, small enough and your wrists. Because one of the most annoying things, especially if you're like a streamer or, I don't know, just, even if you're not a streamer, if you want to get a drink or something, if you turn that pass-through on, which is nice because you've got a little button there now, you can put that pass-through on and just literally let go of the controllers so that the ring lands on your hand and you can slide it down and then you've got your hands free to do whatever you want. Type on your keyboard, have a drink, stroke your cat, whatever, right? It's just as easy to get them back on. You don't have to like grab them and put them over your wrist again. You just slide them back down and they will fall exactly into the right place. So that's another reason I love the sense controllers. They got the haptics and they got that little trick, which is nice.
What about people with larger hands?
Yeah,
would they be able to do that?
Yeah, no, they wouldn't be able to do that.
No.
There are some people, which is kind of strange, really, because it's those controllers are pretty big. They're pretty damn big.
Aren't they? I mean, yeah.
So some people,
look.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the size of that. I mean, I've got small hands to give you some sort of comparison. So I mean, that is got to be a ginormous hand.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's not just that people can't fit their hands through. Like, some people can fit their hands through. Yeah, see, there you go. And then if you slide it down, Dave, I don't know if you practice this or not.
No, I haven't.
Never mind. But, okay, it looks like you're having a bit more trouble than I do. But you see me do it on the review, basically. But it's, what was you saying about it? Yeah, big hands. So it's the thumb as well. Your thumb's got less movement because of the ring above. Like, that's the main problem. It's not that people can't get their hands through. It's that they can't move the thumbstick because they can't move back because the ring at the top blocks their thumb from moving back. You know? So, big hands, be careful. So
yeah, because you might not get it off.
yeah. Yeah. Another kind of trick is to do with another kind of glitch or a bug. I don't know what it is. When you turn on your PlayStation 5 with a VR headset connected, you can't see the social screen unless you're already in a game. So you need to be connected to a game. And the weird thing is that, so like, for example, you turn it on, you turn your PlayStation VR2 on, you turn your PlayStation, it's all on, but you just loaded it up. There's no game or anything. The social screen's going to be black. No one's going to see that PlayStation home screen. They're going to be able to see the settings going through, because that's when I run into a problem. Because when I first started playing, obviously, I live alone. There's no one to tell me that the social screen's not working. My mate came round, he put it on. I was expecting to walk him through the setup to adjust the lenses and all that sort of thing, and the social screen was black. I was like, oh shit, what is this? What's going on? It turns out that you need to have a game open. Now here's the weird thing. Yeah, the weird thing is
quick settings after that. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I could talk him through it, but in hindsight, I didn't know that at the time. But the thing is, if you go into a game, you can then come out to the home screen, and then the home screen works, and you can do all the settings, and you can see it on the screen, fine. So, I don't know what that's about. That's weird.
That'll get patched, I'd imagine.
Yeah, but that is the trick that I'm trying to say there, is if you need to, like, if you're putting the headset on someone, it's not really a trick as such, it's just a little tip. Open the game first, and then you can walk them through it, or you can even like grab the controllers and put them in whatever you need to put them in. I think that is not on, Dave. Literally, it's literally not on. The social screen is not on. Let's go into a couple of games. Let's talk about a couple of games. And we are being raided by my brother for a party of one. Thank you Thank you, Meds.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, games. Let's start with Light Brigade, Dave. Light Brigade. I want you to start off talking about this because I want to set up the screen.
So yeah, I've got quite far in it now.
Oh yeah. What, even with the issues? Because that's what we're getting into today. The issues with Light Brigade.
Yeah. Okay. So originally, we were both having everybody was having issues with the PSVR2 version. I don't know about the Quest version of the Light Brigade. Basically, we were having tracking issues.
Yeah.
And you're getting a 2D screen come up when aiming, especially like at the boss. There was a mini update, but it was still happening to some people after that. And I know they are working on a patch. However, I played it on Friday, and I ended up spending about three hours playing it, and I got up to the sewers. Beat the boss with no tracking issues whatsoever.
No tracking issues, right? I haven't been in it since. To be honest.
And that's before this is before an update.
Yeah.
Because I always look on notifications for updates and stuff like that. So that was weird.
Yeah. It wasn't just tracking problems though. It was also performance issues. That's why I want to talk about this really, is because this is a game that's designed to run on Quest as well. It's designed to run on mobile hardware, and it runs
and PC.
And well, yeah, but that's the thing. The point I'm making is that it's supposed to run on Quest, and it runs like shit. It's got frame drops. It's got the frame rate is not great in a lot of places. Like if you look at part of it with a lot of geometry going on, and you move your controller like left and right to actually move your character, you can see that it's not the highest frame rate. Obviously, it's using reprojection, so with your head movements, it's fine. But there's popping, such as we're looking at my gameplay. I don't know if we'll see any, but the grass that you can see there, it pops in just when it's just a couple of meters in front of you, which is it's not that distracting. I'll be honest. It's not a deal breaker, but the fact that it's there is kind of strange. The main one was the cathedral roof, like the chapel, which is at the first boss. I went into the chapel and I was like, that's a bit weird. The chapel's like got all these support beams, but there's no roof. And then, bam, the roof
I looked
appeared.
at that in my playthrough on Friday, and it never happened.
Never happened.
No.
Well, we might have patched it.
Mm.
But yeah, and then the boss fight, when I got to the boss fight for the first time, it was like really bad frame drops. Like literally 2 frames per second for like a few seconds, and it would like frame skipping, things like that. So I don't know if they fixed that yet. But the main issue was the tracking. Made no sense at all. But actually, just to go back, the performance issues, that's what really makes no sense. Because, like I say, it's supposed to run on Quest. So what does the Quest version look like? How does that run? I'm tempted to actually get it on Quest, just to satisfy my curiosity. Because there's something not right there. Something not right. I don't know if Sony's just rushed it out, like we need more launch games, get this game out, we don't care. Because that's what we did with No Man's Sky when that originally launched. Sony wanted it out before it was really finished. But that's the thing, it's a great game. The actual gameplay itself and everything, it's the best roguelike in VR.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, it is good.
But those tracking issues, they end runs. It's a roguelike, you've got to have perfection on each run pretty much, or as close to perfect as you can get. Because if you're aiming at an enemy and you're about to get that fucking headshot and kill him, if the tracking goes, he could shoot you first, and that's it. That's a whole run. You could have got like 3 levels in, you could have got 3 bosses in or something, and then bam, tracking goes, you're fucked. But it only happens in Light Brigade. I've had no tracking issues like that at all with anything else. In fact, I was streaming it, and someone in the chat came along. I was talking about the tracking issues, and he was saying, "Oh, that's just PSVR2, mate. It's shit tracking." I was like, "What the fuck are you on about, mate?" I was like, "Look, let's go in Pavlov." I went in Pavlov. I did exactly the same thing, holding the fucking controllers up the exact same way, aiming, no problems, nothing at all. Same with Resident Evil, no problems. So I don't know what's happening there.
But the main thing is they're aware of it and they're sorting it. So
yeah,
that's good.
Should hope so. Yeah, that's the bare minimum, really.
Yeah.
That's what devs should do. They should fix their games. Hopefully that can be completely ironed out. Because like I say, it's a great game. I really like it, and I really want to play it, but I can't until they fixed it. It's very annoying.
Well, try it again, because like I say, Friday, I went further than I've ever got before.
Yeah.
With no issues at all. So it might be worth jumping back in and see how you get on.
There was a bug as well that I had where my hand disappeared, which was weird, but I don't know. It came back. As soon as I loaded into the next level, it came back, so I don't know what that was. Let's talk about another game that people have been complaining about, which I haven't been complaining about. And you know what that one is, don't you, Dave?
Is that Resident Evil?
No. What have people been complaining about Resident Evil, have they, Dave?
Yeah, because there's some immersion breaking moments.
Oh yeah, actually, let's talk about that first. Actually, that wasn't not planned to talk about this, but I do want to talk about that. You're talking about the way that the camera, it takes control of the camera, right?
Yeah.
Right. There's a couple of things here. First of all, let me get the tweet up. Mike from VR
Virtual
Oasis, yeah, he made a post about discomfort. Right, he said, seeing comments like this is worrying. I love PSVR2, but Sony have done nothing to explain to newcomers that jumping straight into something like Resident Evil 8 isn't a good idea. No comfort ratings on the store and no curated list of high quality, comfortable content for beginners. And what he's referencing is this comment, which is, I made the mistake of playing Resident Evil Village as my first ever VR game, played for 2 hours, and I feel like I'm dying. I agree with Mike, 100% here. What about you?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Because on the Quest, you got comfort ratings on that. You got, yeah. You got intense. You got what's the other one? The yellow one.
Moderate.
That's the one I'm looking for. And then
I don't know what the easy one is. The green one is like comfortable. Maybe.
Yeah, just comfortable. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. Because we said that at the end of the review in the
yeah, it's a valid point.
In the really cautions that a lot of new users, they just don't know. Like a lot of people, I was talking to someone on Twitter today who was saying they tried VR but it made them sick. They don't seem to be aware that that's pretty common. It's a pretty common thing. I was sick for 2 weeks when I first got VR, right? I was like really ill. I have got an anxiety disorder which kind of didn't help, but I was really like not feeling well at all. I got motion sick, which I'm not a kind of person who gets motion sick. But VR legs is a thing, and Sony do nothing. I mean, I don't think any VR company does anything to explain like the basics of what you need to know. Because imagine how many people out there, like J1 Huds in chat just said, have sold their headsets because they think that VR makes them sick. They think it's going to be a permanent thing. They don't realise that it's something that you have to acclimatise yourself to, and it takes time. It's called VR legs. It's a thing, and not just that, just other things as well. Like we went over in our review, like lens safety and things like that. Things that they won't tell you. People are gonna ruin their VR. Like people with glasses, they're gonna think it's safe. It's not safe. You've got to be really careful, really careful if you've got glasses. People who like live in sunny countries, who might leave their headset like with the window, you know, next to the window with the sunlight coming through. If that direct sunlight hits your lenses, that's it. Your display is burnt.
Game over.
It's game over. Yeah. Things like that I think that we need to see more of. Like there needs to be some kind of video which you can, you know, like maybe at the start of when the PSVR2 first turns on. I mean, it's a bit too late now, but not for new users. You could have something that just says like, are you used to VR? Are you not used to VR? And then it would give you like a video if you're not, and it would say, listen, there's like the basics that you need to know to get the best experience and not, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'd imagine that sort of stuff may be in the manual that you get with the PSVR 2, but who? It might be.
Who reads the manual? Yeah, exactly. I mean, I do.
Yeah,
I read manuals sometimes
really point.
if I'm on the toilet or whatever. But yeah, at least just comfort ratings in the store is. I think that's bare minimum that they need to do. I mean, because now they're relying on the community. This is what he says. So Mike also said, I read similar feedback on the PSVR subreddit. Thankfully, the community are on hand to give some great advice. So first of all, it shouldn't be up to the community, because some people don't use community sort of things. They don't use Reddit, or they don't use, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he says, but what about those not on Reddit or posting on Facebook groups? Okay, he's just said that. Do they just give up and think VR isn't for them? Yeah, they do. I think they do. Which is a shame. But
Yeah.
where's the thing that he said? Let me just look for it. There's something he said that I just don't agree with. Right, here it is. This guy says, Resident Evil 8 plays more like a mod than a native VR game. Resident Evil 4 on Quest has a more polished VR implementation. I don't get VR sick, but with the lack of room scale turning, which, yeah, I can understand that bit, forced perspective in cutscenes and floating disconnected arms is all disorientating. I don't know about the floating arms. I don't imagine how that can make you feel sick as such. I don't know. But the forced perspective thing, I completely don't agree with, for the fact that you can turn it off. It's an option. You can change it so that whenever the camera's going to get taken control of, it will put it in 2D mode. Stereoscopic 3D. You can turn it off. And then this is the thing that I don't agree with what Mike said. Resident Evil 8 really threw the VR comfort rulebook out the window and then yeeted off a cliff. To which I replied, it's not a rule anymore. It was a rule when no one really acclimatized to VR. No one was really acclimatized to VR. But now, it's no longer a no-go for many users. Which is true. If it was a rule, Dave, that would mean we wouldn't be able to experience the game and enjoy it the way we have been. I love the fact that when I get dragged across the floor, I'm being dragged across the floor. I'm not looking at a fucking screen. If it was a rule, then we wouldn't have that. And it would ruin it for us. It should be an option. And it is an option, right?
Yep.
So...
completely, yeah.
So that's what I think about the rule thing. I really hate that when people say that it's a rule. It was a rule when VR started, because it made people sick, because no one was used to it. No one could really handle it. But now we have VR veterans, right? VR's been going around, it's been around for years. People can handle it. So don't call it a rule. It's not a rule. And then, plus there's an option in Resident Evil 8 to disable stereoscopic 3D in cutscenes. So yeah, there's that. That's what I want to go over about Resident Evil and people feeling sick and stuff. I will say though, I don't think the option to turn off stereo 3D, it might be, but I'm not sure if it's in the options menu. I think, because the only time I saw it is when you press options, when the cutscene's actually playing out. Which kind of makes sense, because if you're feeling sick, and why wouldn't you press options? You wouldn't press start and be like, I can't handle this. And then you'll see, it's literally right there. As soon as you press the button, disable stereoscopic. So, yeah, sickness in I think a lot of people are complaining about Resident Evil 8. Just haven't found the option that they're looking for. So, right, let's move on to the other game, which people have been complaining about. Take-Two, Dave. What do you think that game is?
No Man's Sky.
You are correct. You are correct, Dave. It is No Man's Sky. I think people are expecting too much from this game. It's notoriously difficult to run on PC, and when people do make it look sharp on PC by turning off the DLSS, I think it's called, it will make it sharper, but at the expense of performance usually, even on a high-end PC, as far as I'm aware from what I've heard from a lot of people. But the PSVR2 version is smooth, and it has got a bit of softness to it. It's not the sharpest game, I will agree, but if you played it on PSVR1,
distances are not, but close up, they look really good.
Crystal, like in the cockpit. PSVR1, if you played No Man's Sky on PSVR1, even with a PS4 Pro, which is what I did, it was fucking blurry as shit. You couldn't even make out your cockpit. You couldn't even read the word for, what's written in your cockpit. Now, it's crystal clear, the cockpit is. But I think people's expectations, it's because, I can understand in some ways, because I haven't seen it myself, but if you've got PlayStation 5 and you're using PSVR 1 with a PlayStation 5 and you're using the PS4 version of No Man's Sky, it has adaptive resolution so it bumps it right up. You're getting full resolution. It's crystal clear, but you're not getting like see all the grass that you can see right now in the footage I got. This is us playing, Dave, and you can't see all of that grass, which people might think grass. Who gives a fuck about grass? But it does make a difference. Otherwise, it's just flat, like muddy, textured ground, right?
Yeah.
It does make a difference. But so I can understand people who have come from there, but it's really not that bad. It's not unplayable. People are saying it's like inexcusable, and they think that Hello Games are lying and they're liars, and they say it looks exactly the same as it was on PSVR1. They're talking shit, you know. It's completely untrue. It's I mean, most people I've seen playing it on YouTube have been saying it's great, you know, and it is. It's great. It's perfectly playable. Does it look crystal clear? No. Does it have to? Not really. If they do update it to look crisper, that's just a bonus. For me, I don't really mind. I'm still enjoying the game just as much. I've put like over 10 hours in it so far. But what about you, Dave? Let's hear your thoughts.
Someone new to it, I thought it was all right.
Yeah.
Myself.
Yeah.
Because it's open world or open universe, as you call it.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's so much to explore and stuff. You forget about all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, if you're only focusing on that, then what's the point?
Well, the thing about it being open universe, the reason I bring that up is because it's an open world game. People are comparing it to like something like Horizon Call the Mountain, which isn't an open world game. All of the scenery you see in the distance on there is the textures are made crisp and clear for that exact distance that you're looking at it. In an open world game, you can't have that. You've got a certain level of textures to use for level of detail, because the distances you're looking out on No Man's Sky are pretty vast. So if you're expecting to see detail of a tree that's like miles away, you're not going to see it. Do you know what I mean?
No.
I have heard. I don't know if it's true. I don't think it is true because I've searched extensively. That some people have said that Hello Games are aware of it and they're going to fix it. But I don't think it's something that needs fixing because I don't think it's broken. I think it looks way better. Like, a lot better than on PSVR 1. Because I stopped playing it on PSVR 1 because it was that bad. Like, I was trying to enjoy it but I just couldn't. Now, I think the game's even naturally beautiful in a lot of places. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with that. I like that people are complaining, to be fair, because that's gonna, we're gonna get a response from Hello Games, maybe, hopefully, and then maybe they will put a bit more, work in. But I think an option would be nice. Like they said, PSVR 1 on PS5, it's a lot sharper. So, just graphics options. We could have graphics options, like performance mode and a graphics mode. And then performance mode would make it sharper. Because you could get rid of some of the textures, lower the textures to prioritise. I don't think, in fact I'm sure, it's not using foveated rendering, so that could be something down the line that could come into play.
Yeah.
So, who knows? But as it stands, I think people are blown out of proportion, and it's perfectly playable. You can have a lot of fun with it.
I mean, there's so much going on with the game that you don't really have time to look around.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Kind of. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. But yeah, there's a lot to do. It's a great game.
Lots of tasks to carry out, and And
in your cockpit, like I say, it looks great. Looks sharp. Looks nice.
It does. Yeah.
Actually, in our review, I've got some through the lens footage, which obviously it's not going to look the same as your actual eyes, but it gives you a kind of an idea of what it's going to look like. But yeah, No Man's Sky, I think it's a great game.
I mean, look at the reflections of your
Off
you
my
see the
gun.
reflections of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. Like the textures and everything are really nice. Like you were saying, like, we went to like a space station, and you went up to like all these little bits and stuff, and like everything's all high quality,
Yeah.
So, I mean, people on Twitter were saying that they was lying. They were saying none of this stuff is true. Where's the higher quality textures and all this sort of stuff? I landed on a planet, but on my last playthrough, and there was like volumetric fog and stuff. It looks really crazily good. I was amazed. So yeah, the graphics are definitely a lot better than they were on PSVR1. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that.
We'll have to wait and see, mate. But
Yeah.
it's certainly playable. It's not enough to complain about. Especially if you've played it on PSVR1 and you've gone into this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You're going to see a massive difference,
You
surely,
will.
like you said.
It is a massive difference. I mean, it's been a while since I played it, but my first impression when I got in there was positive. You know? Like PD, Paradise Decay, his wasn't positive. As soon as he got in there, he didn't like it, and he's one of the people who's like adamant that like it needs to change and it's like really bad. So I don't know, but he did say at the same time that obviously he's had it crisper, but I think he did say that it was at cost of performance. Obviously, in VR, performance is important.
Yep.
Probably more important than visuals in my experience. So right. Let's move on to a little one here, but lens inserts, prescription lenses for the PSVR2. They are available now. I'm going to put a link in the description if anyone wants to check them out. I've ordered some because I am short-sighted. I've never felt like there's a reason to wear glasses in VR. In real life, I can't see my TV when I'm sat on my sofa. It's blurry. But in VR, everything seems fairly crisp, you know. I'm not really sure it's going to make that much of a difference, but I have read a lot of comments online that if you're even slightly short-sighted, it can make a difference. So I'm going to try them
I
out.
reckon it will, mate.
Yeah, I'm going to try them out.
If your TV's blurry, mate, then...
Well, it's just the focal distance. I don't know what the focal distance is on the PSVR2. So it depends.
Yeah.
I thought it was supposed to
say to me, Dave, this looks amazing, mate.
Well, we'll see. We will see. I do know that when I'm looking at text in PSVR2, like white text on a black background, I get kind of God rays. But that's not the lenses, because if I squint and like adjust my eyes, I can really squint. I'm a good squinter. It goes away. So it's my eyes. So I think it will make a subtle difference. But what I'm really interested to see with the lenses via prescription inserts is how they're going to fit. Because like I said before earlier on, I've got the IPD the smallest, and I've got a big nose and a deviated septum. Is that going to be a lot worse? Obviously, I'm expecting to lose a little bit of field of view, because even without those lenses on it, my fucking side of my nose, this side of my nose, gets proper raw sometimes. So we'll have to see about that. But we'll probably do a video on it or something. But it was fast. That happened fast, and they're not that expensive either. I think mine were like, if they're coming from America, and it cost me like 60 quid or something like that. I thought prescription...
That's not too bad.
Yeah, I thought prescription lenses would have been like pretty expensive, like over 100 quid.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
But no, it's a pretty good price. Like I say, it's going to be interesting to see if they make a difference. Because there was a comment, that's what made me do it, a comment on YouTube saying, like, telling people that they need to, like, if they got any short-sightedness issues at all, it will make a world of difference. So let me just make it clear, I'm not getting them because I think it's blurry. I don't really think it's blurry. Like I say, I think it's crisp. It is crisp. But if I'm looking at text, I can notice that it's not that clear as it can be if I've got to, like, adjust my eyes and shit. You know what I mean? So maybe that might help with things in the distance and things as well. So I don't know. That's what I was saying though, is it's quick. It happened fast. I wasn't expecting there to be prescription lenses at all, to be honest, because of the...
It's very quick, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's only just come out.
It was like a week after launch, maybe even less.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I never expected them to come at all because of the eye tracking. But apparently, it's designed for it, and it all works with eye tracking. So I don't know. It could be a scam for all I know, but I'm gonna give it a go anyway. See what happens.
What's the company?
VR Rock or something like that.
No, they're good, mate.
Are they?
Yeah, because they've been used by other people that have mentioned them. So
I've never heard of them personally, but
yeah,
I mean, Polish Paul, Disco VR, both of them have talked about it in their videos. and give
That's
them the
it,
link
that's
and
what I'm
stuff.
saying.
So
Yeah.
with their name behind it, let's give it a go. Let's see what happens. Right. PS5 creator packs, Dave. You want to touch on creator packs?
Yeah, so a while ago, I saw something on the PS5 about creator packs coming, and I haven't heard anything since, which is a shame because I've been live streaming, like yourself, the PSVR2. My main issue is that when using text to speech,
Yeah.
I can't hear people's names, so I don't know who's talking to me. So I have to remove the headset, or push the divisor forward to then check my phone
Yeah.
to see who said what. So I'm hoping to see that. Also, I'd like to see overlays
Yeah.
and also like a timer or something like that, so you can like a 10-minute timer like you're doing on Twitch.
Yeah, like starting screens and things, like be right
like
back
a starting
screens.
screen, yeah, and that as well, yeah.
Go back to what you said about when you're trying to see who said something. I just use the pass through and just stick the screen of my tablet or whatever, like right up to the lens, and just close one eye and I can read it fine.
Yeah.
Just a little
But
tip
then
there.
that'll come through on the stream.
Well, no, because if you're streaming natively through PlayStation, when you press the pass
Yeah.
through, it goes into this blue screen with a like a broadcasting symbol on it. You know, like PSVR, PS4.
Yeah.
When you go out of menu, it takes that blue screen. It's got like a little whatever going on. It's just like that.
That was it.
Yeah.
Oh, I assumed that they could see.
No, they can't see. They can see mine because I'm using the capture card. But yeah,
Right, okay.
native PlayStation they can't see. Yeah.
But you still shouldn't have to do that, though, should you? Really, you should all be.
Yeah, the thing you say
Careful
about the
using the
names, that's like I tried it because my capture card never used to work, but for some reason I got it working again. So when I first started streaming with PSVR2, it was I was using the text to speech native.
Yeah.
And my main problem, I think you didn't have a problem with this because you're quite silent a lot of the time. You just make the odd comment every now and then. But I'm quite loud sometimes, and I talk a lot. So if I'm talking, I'm in amongst something, or I'm like, screaming because there's this fucking pig on Resident Evil's fucking charging at me unexpectedly. It will save a name while I'm saying it. When I'm streaming natively, it won't save a name. So I've missed what they've said,
Yeah.
or missed the first part of what they said. But at least when I'm using like my third-party software for text-to-speech, when I'm streaming from my PC, it says the name first. So usually I don't really care whose name it is as such, because it will come up again, But the thing is, it gives me a bit of time to prepare for the message. So if I'm like noisy and I hear that something's coming through my Bluetooth earbud from text to speech, I know to get ready to listen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's something I didn't like.
Absolutely.
That's something I didn't like about it not having names. But your problem with not knowing who it is another valid problem. So that's two issues with the text to speech.
So hopefully that gets sorted in the future.
Yeah, but the creator packs is what we're on about, and that is, I don't think they let you do fully custom. That's what I'd like. Even I think the bitrate streaming on my PS5 is better than when I'm using my computer. I can push it out more for some reason. So if you could get a fucking USB stick some overlays on there, 1080p overlays or whatever, and then if Sony allowed you to do that, that would be a good fix. Along with, a little extra would be nice, Sony's Music Bank. So they give you some music to, stream with. Some, non-copyright, royalty-free music. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but just like you said, starting screens, be right back screens, you need them. Because if you're it's so unprofessional. If you're in the middle of a stream and you're streaming natively through PlayStation and you need to go take a massive shit, you're just going to put your headset down. It's going to be like you're going to see you're going to see the pause menu on skew with the headset on the floor. Someone's going to come in. They're going to be like, "What the fuck is going on? Is the stream over? Is he been murdered in his house or something? What's going on?" It's important for streaming, So PlayStation need to really think about their streaming, really. because it's serviceable. Obviously, it's usable, and you can use it. But
Yeah.
that's what I was going to say, is you want to schedule, like, because you schedule your live streams, don't you? So people know they're coming. That's what a starting
Yes,
stream's
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like, in a way. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I write on community posts beforehand when I'm streaming, so people are aware what time and.
Wait, you can still
Yeah.
do that, can't you? You can still do that anyway.
I can still do that, but I want to do it so that I can.
Schedule the actual
The problem
video for notifications.
I can, when I'm writing up like titles and descriptions, it's not that great.
You mean
It's the
through
same as
PlayStation?
Yeah, through
Yeah,
PlayStation.
yeah, it is. It's not using the controller, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd like to be able to schedule it so that I've got all my details on there, all my links and all my tags and everything else all sorted.
Yeah.
Before I go live, and then yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then also I'll be able to do a thumbnail as well, because I have to do a thumbnail afterwards.
True. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Like I say, I don't stream with PlayStation natively, so I don't really run into these problems. But yeah, yeah. So PlayStation 5 creator packs. Actually, there's something else I want to say about that. Is I did say that they probably won't let you do custom. There'd probably be like PlayStation brand, like, so there'd be like loads of PlayStation symbols. Maybe you can pick the color or something. Which is better than nothing, I guess, but I think it still looks unprofessional. It makes you look a bit cheap in a way, you know?
As long as they're black and red, mate, that's all that matters.
Yeah, yeah. They would look pretty good for you, actually, with black and red, that's true. But it's not. I wouldn't be happy with that at all, because it would look really quite unprofessional, I think. Right. Last point I want to go over on our main topic of PlayStation VR2 is, let's have a little talk about PlayStation VR2 Pro, or version 2. Like they did with PlayStation VR 1. Which wasn't a Pro, it was a version 2. So I'll let you take the lead here.
Okay, so yeah, I was just speculating whether there would be a version 2. Like they did with the PSVR 1. And it was just like something I thought about. You know, and yeah. What was it, the improvements that we were talking about that we could have?
Lenses. Pancake lenses. But like I said,
pancake lenses.
I don't think that the lenses are that bad, really. For Fresnel lenses, it's their own patented lens. So, like I say, Kite Mirage, Kite VR Mirage, lens to corner in lenses, it looks pretty crisp. So, yeah, but also
I'm trying to think what I said in the last podcast that we did.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Good point.
There wasn't many though, was there? Because originally we was talking about if they made a pro version, what would it be? I went in there thinking that they could do a pro version, but I didn't really think it through. And then when we actually talked about it, it turned out that there's not actually that many improvements that I'd like to see. There's only a few little things like comfort and the lenses maybe, and maybe inbuilt audio, right?
Yes.
So it wouldn't even be a pro really. It would be like it'd be more close to the way that PSVR 1 did the version 2, where it's just a small little modifications.
Exactly. They moved the controls from the wire onto the actual headset itself.
Because you're not going to get like a pro version. You'd expect better graphics, but it's not the headset that's taking care of the graphics. It's the fucking PS5. Do you think they're going to do it though, Dave? Do you think there'll be a version 2?
Yeah, I think they will.
I think they will as well. Mainly because of comfort, I think. Because, like I say, a lot of people have had different... Like me and you, we've had completely different comfort issues. I've got problems with my nose, you've got problems with the back of your head, so...
Yeah. I will say they used to, because that's not a problem now. Yeah,
mine's getting better as well. Mine is getting better. Yeah. There was one night where it was really fucking hurting a lot, and... I had a red mark on my nose for hours afterwards.
I think it's just all about positioning, just getting that position right, and once you get it, you'll remember it, and then it'll stay there. And so far this week, I've managed it. Yeah,
I think I will say this. I say the PSVR 2 is the worst headset I've had in terms of VR face. It gives me really bad VR face. Do you know what I mean? Like when I take it off, I've got a big line at the top of my head, and sometimes I have these like little like horseshoe shaped marks here. I don't know what that comes from though. I don't know what it's from.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, if I take that off, like say if I was to play this tonight, if I was to play VR tonight, well I did, I played it earlier, but I played it way before I came on the podcast. But if I was to like take it off just before I started the podcast, like 10 minutes before to go to do the podcast, I wouldn't do it because you'd see the marks on my face proper bad, you know. So, but I don't know. That just might be me wearing it wrong. Actually, I don't think it is me wearing it wrong. I think it's just my head. I got a weird small head, deviated septum, big nose. So that's the thing about the PSVR2. It's a different fit for everyone.
Yeah, it is. It's subjective, isn't it?
Yeah. PSVR1 was way more comfortable for me personally. I didn't even feel the screen against my face on that.
Yeah, it's true.
But the thing is,
Very true.
I want that field of view. So I've got it like as far as I can while still not being too uncomfortable. That's what I'm trying to aim for. If they did make a PlayStation VR2 version 2, would you bite on that?
If it meant forking out all that money again, I'd probably not, to be honest with you. If it's only a small detail like that.
I don't know if I would. I'd have to see it first, but maybe, because it's a great headset as it is, and just any little improvements at all would just make a phenomenal headset even better.
Yeah. But if you've got to spend that again, that's a lot, mate.
Well, you wouldn't be, would you? You'd spend in like half of it, maybe even more, because you'd sell your other one.
But I don't really sell my headsets. I've still got all mine.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like to sell a headset either, because it's like selling a sock, you know. I'm sweating in it.
They're memories, mate, for me.
Yeah.
You know, every headset has had an experience.
It's had an experience. What have you been doing with them, Dave?
Well, I have. I've you know, from the very first headset I got was the Go to the Quest to the Quest 2. Everything is special to me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got rid of my Quest 1. I sold that to a friend. But I wouldn't and my PSVR 1 as well, I gave that to my brother. But I feel weird about selling headsets because of how worn they are, you know? They, like, my PSVR 1, the lenses were a bit scratched up because someone wore glasses for like 1 hour. Maybe even less than that.
Right.
So, I just don't feel comfortable selling things that have got like slight scratches and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or any kind of marks or anything like that. Hopefully I can keep my PSVR 2 in better condition. Which I definitely should be able to. Because no one with glasses is going to be getting in that thing. And I'm going to be trying the prescription lenses as well. So
I've got one more question for you, right?
Go on.
Obviously, there's certain games that you can only play on PSVR 1. Now, I don't know if you own them games. Would you still jump into those if you had a PSVR 1?
Nah. No, I don't think I'll go back, no. It's like you said today, you said about you went back to your Quest, didn't you? And you said you felt disappointed, like you noticed how bad the graphics were, but you didn't notice how bad they were before.
But I mean, I really enjoyed Blood and Truth, and I'd love to go back in and revisit that at some point.
Nah, with the Move controllers, I could never go, especially the Move controllers. I'd never go back to them.
That is an issue with the Move controllers, but I really like that game, and I wish I finished it.
I never finished it. I'd wish I finished it as well. I don't know.
It's such a shame that you... Oh, yeah, but yeah, don't worry about what I was going to say.
Forget it. What I'd like to see is some more PSVR 1 games getting ported over.
Yeah.
Or just sequels. Like I say, one I've always gone on about is Catch and Release. Fucking really love that game. I love that game.
Yeah.
I'd rather see a sequel though, really. I'm not even like a fisherman kind of guy, you know what I mean? I used to fish a little bit.
You can chill and just row that boat around.
That's what it is. You got your own little boat that you can row around. It's just nice, like you catch a fish, you can sell it or you can release it, and then you can like get upgrades to like your rods and stuff. It was a really nice game. And then there's like Static Institute, But that would have to be like a sequel, because obviously that used the DualShock controller.
Yeah.
Like that was actually built into the game, as in like the actual puzzles you have are like based around the controller. Like you'll get analog sticks come out and stuff, and so. But that was really good. I really loved that game. So I'd like to see.
So they could make it for the DualSense, couldn't they?
Yeah, they could make a new one for the. No, they couldn't, because it's not tracked.
You're about static, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, but DualSense isn't tracked, is it? How would they track the DualSense?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Good point. Yeah.
But also, the games that I'd really like to come back to PlayStation VR 2, which I don't think is going to happen, Skyrim and Minecraft. Obviously, because of Microsoft. But I don't know, because Minecraft came to PSVR 1, and at the time, I think there was like tension between Microsoft and Sony at that time as well. And that's a feature that Xbox doesn't get because they don't have VR, so who knows. But, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I'd love it to happen, but I don't think it is. Skyrim, again, I don't think it's going to happen, but it could do because it's Skyrim, and Skyrim comes out on everything. Because that was blurry. Cool. That was a blurry game on PSVR 1. Yeah. They do, Meds. They do. They do love releasing Skyrim. So, who knows, maybe. Before we end, real quick, any other games that you'd like to see come over?
I'd like to see Iron Man. Iron Man would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it on the PSVR 1, but the fact it's been ported to the Quest, they could easily do it with the Sense controllers.
Yeah.
So they've shown they can do it. So I'd love to see Iron Man come over. Maybe a new Drive Club. How about that?
Wipeout, mate. Wipeout.
Yeah, and Wipeout,
Wipeout Omega. I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong, but I think that supported a wheel as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But Wipeout was like one of my favourites on PSVR 1.
Yeah, it was good.
With all of the comfort options off, it felt so good. It felt amazing.
Yeah.
Like when you're fucking like pitching around like that and stuff, it's really good. And the sense of speed in that game was incredible. It's a great game. It needs to come back. It has to. But talking about driving games, I'm just gonna quickly.
Rally.
I'm just gonna quickly touch on what's it called? Twisted Metal. I think we're gonna see that in VR. I think we're gonna see that come to PSVR 2 because it's coming back, basically. You know, Twisted Metal. It was. I think its last release was like 2011 or something like that, and they're bringing it back now. It's coming back as a game. It's coming back as a movie or a series or something as well.
Okay.
So I'd imagine they'd capitalise on a VR version as well. So.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it? That would be cool.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to see more of. Like racing games that are like non-proper racy, like Crash Team Racing. Imagine that. Things like that. That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a Forza Horizon equivalent on PlayStation, like an open world with your mates just online in your cars, just fucking around. That'd be sick.
Yeah, that would.
Burnout VR. Yeah, there's loads of good ones.
Yeah.
Dirt Rally, of course.
For me, Need for Speed for me. I'd love like Underground or something like that. That would be cool.
Yeah, I'd like. You know what I'd like Euro Truck Simulator or something.
Oh yes, I was thinking about that the other day actually.
Yeah,
that would be good.
Just getting in your truck, sticking your Spotify on, and just chilling. You know.
Yeah, just driving for miles.
Yeah, exactly. Or a taxi simulator. Imagine Crazy Taxi, a reboot of Crazy Taxi. That'd be good as well. Anyway,
there's so much potential, isn't there?
There is so much potential. And actually, that leads us into what our next podcast is going to be about. Like I say, we're going to do it fortnightly now. I know this is Sunday. We did record this on a Friday, but we kind of fucked that up. So this is a redo. But I think it went all right, didn't it, Dave? To be fair.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. But yeah, the next next podcast is going to be not next Friday, but the Friday after, and that's going to be about the future of VR, tech and software. We're going to like speculate a bit. Speculate. That's going to be fun. You know, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to be talking about things like really sci-fi topics. You know, like plugging yourself right in, plugging your nervous system in to VR kind of shit. We're going to be going deep. Yeah, we're going to be going deep into that rabbit hole. But for now, that is it. We had 5 viewers at one point, Dave, which is very nice.
Yeah, thank you for watching, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. Maybe give us a sub.
That's it.
Anything else?
And follow us on our socials and yeah.
Yeah, and we hope to provide more entertainment. Our channel's got loads of shit on it. We've got reviews. We've got 2 reviews, including the PSVR2. Please watch that, by the way, because I've pretty much edited myself into a migraine doing that. And it was a lot of work. A lot of work, so I'd really appreciate just checking it out, you know? You don't have to watch it all, just check it out. I put chapters in it as well, so, you know. I mean, it seems long, but it's we've just go over a lot of points. Each point is about 2 to 5 minutes, and there's a lot of them, so it's pretty comprehensive. But yeah, all right.
Well, with that being said, until the next one.
Yeah.
Laters.
Peace. Take it easy. See you on the next one.